And we have storms across our area this morning, especially from Wake County northward. We'll talk about our severe threat and how this could affect your morning commute.
And the WRAL storm tracker is out on the road this morning, and this is what it looks like as we monitor the roads right there, right near RTP this morning. We'll tell you how the weather might affect your commute.
1 dead, 4 hurt. Just a half hour ago, Capitol Boulevard in Wake Forest reopened after a serious crash overnight. What we've learned from the scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Also, verdict watch today. A jury could reach a decision in the trial of a man accused of killing a Home Depot employee. We'll tell you what his defense argued about the cause of that worker's death. Certainly glad to have you in with us for news on your Wednesday morning at 4:30. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Mother Nature putting on a fireworks show out there. As I was driving in, could see all this lightning, but no rain where I was. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking all that rain and energy moving in.
Yeah, look at all this lightning, northern Wake County, all the way up the I-85 corridor toward I-95. So mostly our northern counties seeing that lightning. We may see more of it as we see another band that's going to start to sneak in here over the next couple of hours. There's likely to be some lightning with that as well. But look at this, up around Wake Forest, Falls Lake, Rollsville, Lewisburg, Henderson, Roxborough, all the way over toward Rocky Mount and Roanoke Rapids as well. So just be on the lookout for that this morning. Here's a look at the big picture. We have a cold front that's going to come swinging through and a line of thunderstorms that's out ahead of it that we'll start to feel. Boy, lots and lots of severe weather along this particular front. This morning we have a level 1 risk. Wind damage is our biggest threat, and the timing is until 8 o'clock this morning. This is a look at our hour-by-hour rain chances. We do have a chance this morning. Then it drops off a little bit mid-morning, and then as we get into the afternoon and evening, we may see another chance mainly north and east of the triangle. So we're going to walk through Futurecast for you coming up. Up there in our northern counties, this is a look at Carr Lake. We've seen a lot of thunder and lightning there. 71 is our temperature. It's very warm and muggy this morning, and our temperatures will climb into the upper 80s, so it is going to be a hot one. Of course, a lot of folks will see a messy commute this morning, and Laura Levine is out in the storm tracker this morning taking a look.
Elizabeth, good morning. Right now we're traveling on I-40 East in Raleigh, just past the Wade Avenue exit. You can see that we're experiencing just like a light drizzle right now. You see our windshield wipers moving at a steady pace here, but the roads are slick. The roads are wet. We actually started our morning in the WRAL storm tracker in the Durham RTP area, and we saw a little bit of a heavier rain there. I also woke up with some lightning earlier this morning before making my way into work. So you can see we're experiencing pretty much of a wide variety of scattered showers, depending on where you live. We'll continue to monitor the conditions across the triangle this morning on the roads. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Breaking news, just over a half hour ago, a stretch of Capitol Boulevard in Wake Forest reopened to traffic after police cleared a crash. 1 person died and 4 others were hurt. Ali Kadlubar is at the Wake Forest Police Department this morning from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Ali, we understand officers had that road shut down for nearly 5 hours.
Yes, absolutely right, Renee. Just in the last hour, we saw police officers with Wake Forest PD clear that scene and reopen that stretch on Capitol Boulevard. We want to take you back to that scene and show you this video of the aftermath from our WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see 3 vehicles were involved, leaving major damage. You can see mangled cars and shattered windshields. It happened around 11 last night. Wake Forest tells WRAL that at least 1 person died and 4 people got seriously hurt. Again, Capitol Boulevard near Wake Forest now reopened to through traffic. And of course, we are working to learn what caused this crash and who was involved. We're going to keep you updated throughout the morning. In Wake Forest, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
Ali, thanks for that. And we see where that rain line is as well. Here are the raindrops out there. Also today, we may get a verdict in the trial of a man accused in the death of a Hillsborough Home Depot employee. The jury in Terry McMillan's trial will resume deliberations at 9:30 this morning. McMillan is charged in the death of Gary Razor. Surveillance video shows a man prosecutors say is McMillan pushing Razor to the ground while shoplifting from that store. This was in 2022. Razor was 82 years old at the time, suffered several broken bones and other injuries, and he died a month later from his injuries. McMillan's defense says Razor died from lung disease, not from complications of his injuries. The state says a forensic pathologist testified Razor died from blunt force trauma. WRAL will be following today's developments, and we'll have updates throughout the day. Watch our evening newscasts from 4 to 7:30 p.m.
Breaking overnight, crews in Durham fought a fire at a building on East Gear Street. The abandoned building was in flames when crews got there around 11 p.m. The fire was starting to burn the woods around it. Crews worked for about 30 minutes to put the fire out. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
Wake County Schools is pulling the plug on cell phone use. The school leaders met to talk about their proposed policy requiring all cell phones to be silenced and tucked away. The board tentatively voted to restrict cell phone use in the classroom. They still have to iron out debates over items like smart watches before instituting this official policy. Now, it is clear how the district will enforce the policy. No, it's not clear how they'll enforce the policy or if the board will have a physical device to put cell phones in. The board will vote on that, figure it all out with the official policy next month.
Today, state House lawmakers are scheduled to take their first vote on their $33 billion state budget plan. That meeting is set for 10 this morning at the Legislative Building. The House is proposing larger raises than the Senate for teachers and state employees. They would be paid for by broad job cuts across state government. Most of the jobs would be vacant, but not all. House Republican leaders say the cuts are needed because money is tight. Democrats say the reason money is tight is because Republicans are continuing to cut taxes even as the economy slows down. NC Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie explains what else is in the plan.
The State House budget also sets aside about $700 million for Helene relief, and they've also got more than $1 billion left on the bottom line in case they need to dip into that for more help.
The budget plan is expected to pass the House this week. After that, House and Senate negotiators will meet behind closed doors to hammer out a compromise plan.
Carolina Hurricanes face an uphill climb now after Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Florida Panthers came into Raleigh and got the jump from the start there. The Panthers went up 2-0 in the first period, and they win it 5-2. Canes fans at the Lenovo Center say it was apparent early that it just wasn't the Canes' night.
No highlights at all. I mean, they immediately jumped out to a lead, and from there we knew it was toast. Flashbacks to 2 years ago.
2 years ago, the Panthers swept the Canes in the conference final. The Canes will be trying to avoid that this season, and that would start with a win in Game 2. Why not? At home. Puck drop for that game is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Game 2 at the Lenovo Center. And after the game, we have expert analysis on WRAL, where we'll break down every pivotal moment, what it means, what's next, and what you need to know. Canes exclusive post-game live airs only on WRAL 11:25 after every game.
Right now, a debate is happening in the U.S. House over President Donald Trump's sweeping domestic policy agenda bill. House Rules. This is a live look at the House Rules Committee, where their session has been going all through the night, and at times it has gotten contentious. Trump visited Capitol Hill yesterday to push Republican lawmakers to get on board with what he calls his, quote, one big beautiful bill. The multi-trillion-dollar package would maintain his signature tax cuts and reshape spending. Some GOP leaders are at odds with how to pay for spending increases for things like border security. The White House claims the plan will not add to the national deficit. Some nonpartisan analysts project it would add between $2 to $4 trillion over the next decade.
Raleigh's property tax rate would stay the same in the city's new budget proposal. The city manager shared her spending plan with city council. Her plan does raise fees for trash pickup, water, and sewer. According to the proposal, the increase would amount to less than $5 per year for the average household. The public has a chance to weigh in on the spending plan during a hearing scheduled for June 3rd.
439, Durham murder trial. A man accused of killing his girlfriend after he was convicted of domestic violence. The answers her family is seeking about how this could happen.
An epic theme park. We take a look inside Universal's newest attraction a day ahead of its grand opening.
And today is the WRAL Weather Alert Day. This is a live look at Franklinton. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking when these storms will clear and when lower humidity will return.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
443, taking a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar this morning. Pretty active, especially just north and northeast of Raleigh, headed up toward Franklin County right now. A lot of heavy rain and lightning. We're going to take a look at that camera. But coming next is another band, not quite as intense as what we're seeing just northeast of the triangle, but we will have more rain in the area on and off through the morning commute. It's likely to last probably until around 8 o'clock or so. You can see this starting to lift northward, but look at there, Lewisburg, really seeing a lot of heavy rain. Franklinton, all those counties there in Franklin County, all the towns in Franklin County. Some steady rain, too, up in Mecklenburg County, Virginia, and over toward Roanoke Rapids, some thunder and lightning there as well. The next band of rain is back to the west, and we're take a look at that on Futurecast coming up. It is a WRAL weather alert day for the chance of some of these storms to be severe.
Trial is underway in Durham right now of a man accused of killing a mother of 5 after years of domestic violence. Nicole Bullock was killed in 2023. Police charged her boyfriend, Rodney Crawford, with that murder. Court records show Crawford was convicted twice of hurting Bullock in the 2 years before her death. She had a domestic violence protection order against him at the time of her murder. It's troubling for her family, who is still trying to manage a life without her.
What's the purpose of the order of protection if this still happened? I don't understand. There needs to be more accountability from our county officials in relation to the domestic violence epidemic.
And more than 150 domestic violence victims were killed in North Carolina last year.
The number of escaped inmates on the loose after a jailbreak in Louisiana is now down to 5. Louisiana State Police took 19-year-old Corey Boyd into custody in New Orleans. He's one of 10 inmates who broke out last week. Officials now say they believe the escape was an inside job. A jail maintenance worker is accused of turning water off to the cell early Friday morning, allowing the inmates to escape through the wall.
Tomorrow, Orlando will add another major theme park to its roster of attractions. Universal Orlando's Epic Universe is the newest addition to one of the nation's top tourist destinations and the first major theme park to open in the U.S. since 1999. NBC's Mark Barger has a preview.
It's a big deal to see a dragon for the first time.
And just one of many elements that Universal Orlando is counting on when portals open Thursday to its new multi-billion-dollar Epic Universe theme park.
Honestly, I'm speechless. There's no words for what you see and how immersed you are in everything.
That's music to the ears of the park's designers, who created 5 distinct worlds within it, including the Isle of Berk, based on the How to Train Your Dragon franchise.
It is very much alive. We focused on putting so much kinetic energy in this land.
The Ministry of Magic conjures connections to Harry Potter, complete with frozen butterbeer, while Dark Universe is devoted to classic monsters.
Take the right atmosphere, even down to the type of trees they planted here to give it that sort of scary sort of look.
Far from scary is Super Nintendo World.
It's amazing. It's like stepping inside a Nintendo 64.
An environment very familiar, but also very new.
Whatever the die-hard Nintendo fans, if they're happy, we're happy.
Several thousand fans immersed themselves in a sneak preview during a soft opening.
I was jumping for joy, really. It's too hot, but still, I'm so excited.
As the park aims for a launch.
Do you want to say goodbye to our friends here?
Worthy of its name. Mark Barger, NBC News.
And you can continue the journey all morning long. See much more from inside Epic Universe this morning on Today. The team will be there live in Orlando for a special 4-hour broadcast from inside the park with a tour of the park's highlights, including the rides and the food, as well as some big stars stopping by.
From wild rides to wild weather, the storm system that's hitting us now spun up tornadoes to our west. You're looking at video from Tennessee here, and you can see the debris swirling above that warehouse. Officials there say no reports of any injuries, but wild to see all that debris. And that's same storm system is here now on our doorstep, right?
Yeah, and we do have some lightning shots. Actually, Chris Michaels has been here since midnight, and he rolled the camera in a few places there. Actually, this one's from Jonathan Weddle. I believe that Jonathan sent him some of that video there. So we also had some from our tower cameras as well. So it's been a very active evening, that's for sure. So just keep that in mind, of course, as you're heading out this morning. We'll take a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. And a lot of the stronger storms have lifted just to the north of Durham and Raleigh. Raleigh, especially in Franklin County. And then we have this line that's moving on up into Northampton County. Lots of lightning, but nothing that's reached severe criteria just yet. It's lifting out of Wake Forest, just came through Wake Forest, Lewisburg, Franklinton, seeing a pretty heavy hit of some heavy rain and some lightning right now as well. And the potential for some hail. You see the purple shaded area? That's where hail is possible. Looking at the potential for that hail to be severe. Severe hail would be about a quarter in diameter or an inch in diameter. So if you're in Lewisburg, you may be hearing some hail, and you can see where it's headed right up into Warren County toward Roanoke Rapids. And again, we'll kind of switch it back to the rain. Henderson seeing rain all the way up into Mecklenburg County, Virginia, over toward Roxborough. Another round here, not quite as heavy. Starting to see a few showers in Pittsboro. That's going to be moving into Siler City as well as into Moore County here over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. It is, of course, a WRAL weather alert day. We have a level 1 risk this morning. Main threat wind damage, but hail also until about 8 a.m. Here's a look at Franklinton that's really right under that cell that just is moving across the area. You can see how wet it is there. We have a warm front lifting northward, and eventually the cold front may kick up another round of a few isolated cells for us later on this afternoon. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Again, wind damage and hail would be our biggest threat. A level 1 risk means isolated severe storms are possible and nothing widespread. All right, here's Futurecast for you. You can see the showers and thunderstorms lingering in our northern counties all the way up until around 8 or 8:30, and then that lifts northward and away. It does look like most of the cells that we see are going to be up near the Virginia line. And then after that, we do have the potential for some isolated cells to pop up later on this afternoon or evening, especially north and east of the triangle. But that should be very, very limited compared to what we're seeing right now. Temperature today likely to be a warm one, 88 degrees. And then once we get into the weekend, it turns much cooler. We still have a chance of a few showers or thunderstorms to wrap up the holiday weekend. I'll take a closer look coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Grounding flights changes going into effect at one of the nation's busiest airports as the busy summer travel season is about to begin.
Changes to Moore Square in the next hour. What Raleigh is looking to add to the space and the proposal it is taking off the table for now. It is a rainy morning across the triangle and beyond as we take a live look at Lake Gaston, and you can see raindrops are falling there as well. That rain will let you know how it will affect your morning commute coming up. The busy Memorial Day travel period gets started tomorrow, and one of the nation's busiest airports will have fewer flights coming in and going out. The FAA has ordered a 25% reduction of flights at Newark Liberty International Airport. The changes come after weeks of delays caused by air traffic controller staffing shortages and runway construction. Experts say aging equipment is also part of the problem at Newark and other airports across the country. The Transportation Department is working to overhaul the nation's air traffic control system.
It was a big honor for music legend Rod Stewart, and another star is joining the Hunger Games franchise. David Daniel has your Hollywood Minute.
A Lifetime Achievement Award for Rod Stewart. He'll be honored at this year's American Music Awards for his remarkable career. Stewart is also set to perform on the AMAs for the first time since 2004. The 2025 American Music Awards take place Monday in Las Vegas.
Keep going. Okay.
Elle Fanning is joining the Hunger Games franchise. She's set to appear in Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping as Effie Trinket, the character played by Elizabeth Banks in the original films. The movie is due in theaters November 20th, 2026.
When the need for certainty is absolute and the odds are deemed impossible, the mission falls to him.
Tom Cruise's castmates say there's no such thing as a mission impossible to the series producer and star, even shooting the franchise's final 2 films amid the COVID pandemic and multiple Hollywood strikes.
He's not negatively affected by obstacles and challenges. He keeps forging ahead, and he keeps focusing on the long game of producing a movie that we can all be proud of.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is in theaters Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniels.
Tom Cruise is always running. 4th of July fireworks will return to Raleigh this year, but this time at a new place. It will happen at the Lenovo Center in Carter Finley Stadium, the area this year. Gates are expected to open at 6 p.m. The fireworks show will begin at 9:30 p.m. More information about the event will be released at a later date. Now, the fireworks event was previously held at Dix Park. You may remember last year there was initially a delay over weather. Then the fireworks vendor had a malfunction and ended the show early.
Breaking news this morning, a person is dead. 4 others are badly hurt after a crash in Wake Forest. What we have learned from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Suits settled. 2 local hospital systems are entering multi-million-dollar settlements over how they handle private information. In the next hour, 5 on your side breaks down the claims and what they mean for you.
And tracking your commute. The WRAL Storm Tracker is out on the roads during this WRAL Weather Alert Day. This is a live look right now. This is Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. Ken Smith will join us after the break with the trouble spots you may encounter this morning.